Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada, all goes to Guru and Gauranga. So today's verse we are talking Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 11, Verse 3. Before starting, let's offer our prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Rindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patita Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namastucha Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Ashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistukim. Okay, Krishna and good morning. Thank you all for attending today's morning Bhagavatam class. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to provide a discourse on this subject matter, though I have no qualifications to speak about it. I'm only speaking to please my Guru Maharaj and the Vaishnavas present and not present here. Please forgive me if I have misinformed you because of my ignorance. In the last chapter, we heard the different exchanges between the Lord and his devotees at Hastinapura before he left for Dwaraka. In this chapter, Lord Krishna enters Dwaraka and we hear the exchanges between the residents of Dwaraka. In the first two verses, Lord alerted the residents of his arrival by blowing his conch shell. This verse describes their response after hearing the Lord's conch shell. Let's read the verse. Tamupashitya ninadam jagad bhayabhayavaham pratyudyayu praja sarva bhatrudarshana lalasa. Verse one more time. Tamupashitya ninadam jagad bhayabhayavaham pratyudyayu praja sarva bhatrudarshana lalasa. Synonyms or word-to-word meaning. Tam, that. Upashritya, having overheard. Ninadam, sound. Jagat Bhaya, the fear of material existence. Bhayavaham, the threatening principle. Prati, towards. Udyayuhu, rapidly proceeded. Praja, the citizens. Sarva, all. Bhatru, the protector. Darshana, audience. Lalasaha, having so desired. Translation. The citizens of Dwaraka, having heard the sound which threatens fear personified in the material world, began to run towards him fast, just to have a long desired audience with the Lord, who is the protector of all the devotees. The purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As already explained, the citizens of Dwaraka who lived at the time of Lord Krishna's presence, there were all liberated souls who descended there along with the Lord as entourage. All were very anxious to have an audience with the Lord, although because of spiritual contact, they were never separated from the Lord. Just as the gopis at Vrindavana used to think of Krishna while he was away from the village for cowherding engagements, the citizens of Dwaraka were all immersed in thought of the Lord while he was away from Dwaraka to attend the battle of Kurukshetra. Some distinguished fiction writer in Bengal concluded that the Krishna of Vrindavana, that of Madura, and that of Dwaraka were different personalities. Historically, there is no truth in this conclusion. The Krishna of Kurukshetra and the Krishna of Dwaraka are one and the same personality. The citizens of Dwaraka were thus in a state of melancholy due to the Lord's absence from the transcendental city, as much as we are put in a state of melancholy at night because of the absence of the sun. The sound heralded by Lord Krishna was something like the heralding of the sunrise in the morning. So all the citizens of Dwaraka awoke from the state of slumber because of the sunrise of Krishna. And they all hastened towards him just to have an audience. The devotees of Lord know no one else as protector. The sound of the Lord is identical with the Lord, as we have tried to explain by the non-dual position of the Lord. The material existence of our present status is full of fear. Out of the four problems of material existence, namely the food problem, the shelter problem, the fear problem, and the mating problem. The fear problem gives us more trouble than the others. We are always fearful due to our ignorance of the next problem. The whole material existence is full of problems, and thus the fear problem is always prominent. This is due to our association with the illusory energy of the Lord, known as Maya or external energy. Yet, all fear is vanished as soon as there is the sound of the Lord, represented by His holy name, as it was sounded by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the following 16 words: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We can take advantage of these sounds and be free from all threatening problems of material existence. Okay. So, in the translation, Prabhupada says, the sound of the Lord's conch shell threatens the personified, fear personified in the world. So, Jagat Bhaya Bhayavaham. So in this word, and also in the translation, in the purport, he mentions that the problems of this material world are food, shelter, fear, and mating. The material world is full of miseries. No one wanted it, but cannot avoid them. A politician is fearful of his losing his position. An investor is wealth. A laborer, whether he'll find work the next day or not. The biggest fear of all in this world is death. Everyone would like to live and enjoy their life in this world. Since everyone is continually afraid of losing their place in the world, fear is the most prominent problem of this world. The fear arises because of our contact with the material nature, the illusory energy of the Lord. No fear can exist in the presence of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Therefore, we can take shelter of the holy name and keep fear away from ourselves. I'll just share one story, one of the devotee story from Chaitanya Charitamrita. I was listening the Maharaj's lecture. One example who took the shelter of the holy name is the devotee Gangadhar Bhattacharya, who was a Brahmana by class. He was very scholarly, humble, and moreover was a devotee of Krishna. One day Gangadhar Bhattacharya was traveling to Katwa to visit the disciple of Madhavendra Puri, the saintly Keshav Bharat Maharaj. While in Katwa, he had the extreme fortune of witnessing Nimai Pandit accepting his vows of sannyasi. From Keshav Bharat Maharaj, Nimai Pandit received the name Krishna Chaitanya. Upon hearing Lord's new name, Gangadhar Bhattacharya became ecstatic and started chanting Chaitanya, Chaitanya all the way back to his village. When the villagers heard him in continuous ecstasy, they dubbed him as Chaitanya Das because he was always chanting this name Chaitanya. Soon after, Chaitanya Das started developing a serious desire to have a child. His wife Lakshmi Priya was bewildered by his request and suggested that visit Jagannath Puri for guidance and advice from Lord Chaitanya and also have darshan of Lord Jagannath. When entering the temple of Lord Jagannath, they encountered Lord Chaitanya, where they were enchanted by his presence and offered obeisances with tears of happiness. The Lord informed the couple that he understood of their desire and suggested that they take darshan of Lord Jagannath and their desire would be fulfilled. The following day, Chaitanya Das and his wife visited Lord Chaitanya and sought out his orders for them. The Lord instructed them to go back to their village, chant the holy name, and spread it to whoever they come across. A few days passed as they followed Lord's instructions, and Chaitanya Das' wife Lakshmi Priya gave birth to a beautiful child, later known as Srinivas Acharya. They offered the child to Lord Chaitanya, where they asked the child's mind, body, and soul will be in the service of the Lord. Srinivas Acharya later assisted in spreading Srila Rupa Goswami's teachings of bhakti. Here we can see how Gangadhar Bhattacharya received the mercy of the Lord by faithfully surrendering and executing Lord's instructions. Now, I just want to share my experience, how it is important based on my feelings. Uh, so now I have an opportunity similar to that of Gangadhar Bhattacharya, as I have accepted my spiritual master to guide me on my spiritual path. However, my false ego and personal interests take precedence over executing the orders of the spiritual master. In the early days of my Krishna consciousness, I was very happy with whatever service I rendered. I did many kinds of services, like means cleaning the temple hall, or arranging the shoes in the shoe room, or keeping the temple entrance clean, and all kinds of service I used to do. I was happy, but as the days goes by, I'm not. I don't have the same feeling. Why is this? I was contemplating, and as the days goes by, instead of developing the attitude of servitude, as explained in the verse Trinada Pisunichana, I chose the opposite and selected what services I wanted to do and find reasons to stay away from my undesirable ones. I feel like a fool losing a greatest jewel without realizing its value. Who knows how long it might take me to find it again? If I'm even able to find it, it's better for me to realize the value of these services and protect them from being lost. In order to protect it, one need to be grateful and obedient, as they're the best way to protect us losing the precious jewel of this world, bhakti. Bhakti, the devotional service given to us by Rupa Goswami to attain the love of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Lord Chaitanya prescribed as the 8 verses of the Sikshastakam, a process to attain that love. With this understanding, let us take shelter of the holy name so that we can invite Krishna and have the fear run away from us. To the spiritual master, executing a small service assigned to us is more pleasing than performing a great service which is not assigned. I humbly seek blessings of the devotees so that one day I might develop that surrendering mindset and execute services as they requested of me. Once again, thank you all, for all the devotees, for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts on this verse. Please forgive me or correct me if I have misled you because of my limited knowledge. Hare Krishna. That I conclude, and if anyone want to share any of their thoughts or correct me if I spoke something incorrect.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for that short and very sweet and powerful class. The way you have connected to getting freed from fear by chanting the holy name and connecting that to this service, it was very powerful for me. Thank you for sharing that personal experience. I was contemplating on the current situation. It's been like, almost a year. We couldn't go to the temple or do any kind of services we were able to earlier. it just brought into perspective, when we have these services, I go into this mood of it's getting too much for me, I'm burnt out, this, that, all that. But when we don't have that opportunity, that's when, we can really realize what we are missing, the value of it. As you were sharing, don't know when I can find the jewel. I was thinking, when Krishna willing, hopefully, once the temple opens and we get the opportunity again, for me to have that mood, understanding the value, and really do these services in that mode. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Yes, Mother, I was hearing the Guru Maharaj's lecture, so in that Maharaj was saying, like, when we have the originally when we have that experience, at least I saw in my life, like how I took it easily, means when we don't have that gratefulness and obedience, Maharaj was saying, so it will become the material activity and you will never think that we are executing it for Krishna. And whatever service we are getting, devotion service, is a manifestation of Radharani. And and if we are not taking that service in a grateful mode, so then we are ignoring Krishna. Radharani means it's in turn like ignoring Krishna. So we'll now develop that service attitude. So at least for me, that's where I felt that why I feel like now the things, whatever I try to do for service as a material activity. So I need to change that attitude so I can get better at it. Thanks a lot for sharing that, Mother. Yeah.
I was also thinking yesterday, as Vamshidhari Prabhu mentioned, about this when we come in contact, how the whole situation changes. Prabhu was mentioning about the altar. When we bring in the altar and set up the first time when we move into a house, how the whole energy changes. I was just thinking about it, Prabhu, as you were sharing about the initial days, how we were so satisfied and, everything seems to be like, so rosy. Yes, this is it. I just want my life here. So I was just contemplating, it's about coming in contact with the devotees and devotional service. We can actually experience that kind of happiness, as Vamshidhari Prabhu describing yesterday's words. But I guess one thing, probably as many of us here, that familiarity and thinking that, okay, this becomes a new normal, and we kind of expect, okay, why I have to do this service? Why not that service or something else? Or that devotee may be doing better service. So I had this experience after a couple of years practicing, went back to some family members' home. Then it just dawned on me what we have being in the devotee association. Once in a while, resetting that, recalibrating what we have got, instead of this becomes new normal. Okay, why this devotee is doing this or that, whatever, we go into that mode. Instead, if we reset and probably visiting India or some non-devotee family members' homes, then we can come back and again refresh that contact. I was just thinking about it.
Yes, Mother, that is true. Like, means when we have all the facilities available, so we wouldn't really realize what we have it. And when we stay away from it, or when we lose them, so then we try to understand what we are missing, kind of thing. So yeah. Okay, if no one else has any other thoughts or questions, we can close down. I think Lingraj Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Should we close?
Sure, Prabhu. No other comments.
Vansha kalpatarupyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha.